How's everyone doing? Welcome back to Transfer Tuesdays. So let's get straight into it. So Sinchenko, a left back at Manchester City, I've read is apparently he's up for sale, which surprises me. I know that they have Mendy, but I don't know if he's injured right now. But I think Zinchenko's been doing a good job. So I'm surprised to see that whether this is true or not, that if he is up for sale, that would surprise me. I just think that he's done a good job for them, and I think he's even a second choice if Mendy's there first when he's fit. So Sinchenko is apparently up for sale. West Ham, Wolves and Lazio are all interested in him. It'd be an interesting fit if he went to West Ham. I think the way he plays would suit them, but obviously they have Cresswell at left back, who has been there a long time at West Ham and I think is a very good left back that's underrated. So maybe West Ham, I don't think he would replace Cresswell, to be honest. Wolves, I can't remember who their left back is right now, but I could see him at Wolves. But Lazio, I think, would probably be the best move for him. It's abroad, and I just think the way he plays, he's got a good technique about him, and it's slower playing in Italy anyway. So I think Lazio would be the best move for him because it's a slower play, as I said, and I just think he's technically very good. So, and he's quite pacey for a player in defence as well, also. So Lazio, I would say, is the right move for that, but whether he goes or not is interesting. I don't know how true it is that he's up for sale, but apparently so. Next up, we got Wambasaka, Manchester United right back. Apparently Real Madrid are interested. Number one target for them, from what I've been reading. This comes from Tribal Football. He doesn't really offer too much going forward. I think he has improved on that recently, but defensively he's one of the best in the world, I think. Most of the time, and I think at Real Madrid would be a good step up for him, and a good learning curve. And again, it's like Sinchenko, it's slower play over there, and I think he's very pacey in like recovery and stuff. So I think that would be interesting to see how he would perform in a foreign country where it's slower play and he's got more time to be in position and recover. And so I think, but obviously as a United fan, I would like to keep him as an option defensively. But going forward, he definitely needs a lot of work, and I don't think he would suit Real Madrid's play in that way unless they're going for a more defensive approach, because they seem to play with wing-backs at times, and I don't think he would necessarily suit Real Madrid. So I don't know how true that is, but that comes from Tribal Football. The next one's coming out of Sport Lens. They're on about Alderweireld from Celtic, who's a 23-year-old. They're on about Leicester potentially going in for him as a replacement for Vardy. 40 million plus sell-on clause. I haven't seen too much of him because I don't really watch Celtic or Scottish football, but I hear that he's okay. I don't know if he's a direct replacement for Vardy, as I don't really know what his playing style is. I think it's going to be hard to replace Vardy, whoever you are, because he's very unique in how he plays, and you can have a lot of pace about you but not necessarily have a finishing ability, and Vardy has that as well. So I think it's going to be very tough whoever Leicester try to replace Vardy with, but they've been linked with this 23-year-old from Celtic, and they want so it's around 40 million plus sell-on clause. So it'd be interesting to see what Leicester, who they do bring as a replacement for Vardy, because he's not going to have too much left, Vardy, and he's already retired from internationals and probably hasn't got a lot left in the tank really for club football. So it will be interesting to see who eventually comes in for him. I can't personally see this guy coming to Leicester though, but we'll see what happens with that. Tottenham, Militao from Real Madrid. This comes from thehardtackle.com. He's been linked with Spurs. I've not seen a lot of him, I've got to be honest. I believe Madrid got him from Porto originally. I think he's got a good technique about him, pretty pacey. But I'm going to be honest, I don't know a lot about him, so I'd have to do more research to see if he would fit Spurs. But I could see him fitting in at Spurs from what I have seen of him, but it's very little that I've seen. So Spurs could definitely do with shoring up at the back at times. Alderweireld, I don't know what his contract is at the moment at Tottenham. And Sanchez, I don't know how long they've got left on their contract, so I think it'd be a good option for them to have, just an extra body in there, but whether he suits their playing style is another matter. And I don't think it's very likely that Spurs will get a deal done with Madrid, to be honest, but we'll see. See what happens to that. But that one's thehardtackle.com. And then the last one for this week, guys, this one's been floating around for a while, so you might have already heard it, but it's Rafael Varane, 27-year-old from Real Madrid, former World Cup winner, numerous league titles as well, French international as well, tall but quite pacey, strong on the ball, and his contract is up at the end of the season, and they've also got that Koundé at Sevilla, which is a 68 million they reckon he's worth, 22 years old. A lot of people want Koundé. I haven't seen a lot of him myself. I know that he's a younger guy, strong, quite small but strong, and he's built, do you know what I mean? So, and quite pacey, I think. But out of the two, I would personally go with Varane. I think a lot of people would prefer Koundé because he's younger, and he's got a lot of hype around him right now. But I would go with where the proof in the pudding is, and that's Varane. As I said, he's won a World Cup, he's won league titles, like he's done a lot. He's got a lot of honours and trophies. So, look, if you're going to go to buy a suit, are you going to go to Primark or are you going to go to the best suit maker there is? Because the quality is going to be different. And I'm not saying Koundé isn't quality and he hasn't got a lot of potential, but he's still very young. He's only 22 years old. And I think a lot of people are getting hyped up around him right now, especially United fans, because they've been linked with him heavily, as Varane. But Varane, as I said, he's got trophies there already. He's proven it time and time again. So for me, I would go with Rafael Varane, even though he's the older guy, 27 years old. He's still got a lot of years left in him. And I would go with him out of them two, because I think Koundé potentially could be better in the future. But, do you know what I mean? He's not won a World Cup. He's not won any league titles yet or nothing. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but go where the proof in the pudding is. And because Varane is not like 31, he's still got time on his side to a certain extent. He's 27. That's still pretty young. So I would go with Rafael Varane. He's going to cost some money, and rightly so, because he's quality and he offers a lot. So I think at minimum he's worth at least... Look, if Harry Maguire is 80 million, Varane has to be at least 95 in my opinion, at least, minimum. So Rafael Varane would be my choice out of him and Koundé for Manchester United fans anyway, and the club itself. But I know there are a lot of United fans that would prefer Koundé, but I would go with Varane. And that's it for today's show, guys. I'll be back next Tuesday with another Transfers Tuesdays. And I'll see you then.